Verizon is making an announcement this morning, which is interesting. Time will tell how important it is, but it's interesting, where they're going to have a new mobile streaming service, right? Free to your telephone.
That's right. This is just, I think another example of kind of what we've been talking about really for 10 or 15 years, which is the convergence of technology and media, and we are actually seeing it happen. We've seen so many deals where you've seen some media companies like Time Warner and HBO taking their content direct to consumers, engaging technology, the internet, and bringing their content direct to consumers. And now here you've got a technology company, Verizon, trying to get into the media business.
But this one's a little bit different, Paul, as I understand it, because unlike, for example, HBO, which is a subscription-based service, this is going to be free over the air, like broadcast TV, supported by advertising.
At least initially. So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to offer this free, make it an ad-supported model, as you mentioned. Then if they get enough tractions in terms of subscribers, I absolutely expect they're going to try to start charging.
Can I ask a dumb question?
No,
is that okay, David?
No dumb question.
Let me ask a dumb question. Does anybody want this? I mean, I'm walking down my street. I'm texting right now, bumping into people, making an idiot of myself. How am I going to do this with TV?
You know what? I think everybody in Hollywood and everybody in Silicon Valley looks at one company, and they look at Netflix, and they see over 50 million subscribers globally that are, in fact, paying for streaming video. And we do know that people are consuming more and more content via the Internet, primarily via their mobile devices. So clearly, this is where technology and media is coming together. We've seen lots of examples of where consumers are absolutely changing their behavior.
And to your point about walking down the street, they're not calling it Verizon. They're not calling it Fios. They're calling it GO90 is the name of it.
Really?
Yeah. And you know why they call it?
Really?
Because you turn your cell phone 90 degrees to be able to watch the video.
Yep.
That's so lame. We need to bring in David Gura, who's the closest thing to a millennial we have on the set. That's why. Are you a millennial?
I don't qualify. Sadly.
David, would you help me here? Come on. It's like digital diarrhea. I mean, it's insane.
I still don't feel compelled to watch something like this on a small screen, and I do have the tools now to project it onto my TV at home. It'll send it to the TV at home. Is there evidence indicating that people want to watch shows of any length on a smartphone, on a small tablet?
There absolutely is, and we see it across the board in mobile. Actually, it's a global situation, so it really is a global phenomenon. So you've seen all the content players, the Hollywood studios, reconfiguring their content so that they play on mobile devices, and so they're embracing the over-the-top technology that Netflix is really.
David, I want to watch Tom Brady beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on my mobile phone. Do I want to watch Michigan beat Duke in basketball?
Which won't happen by the way.
I was going to say, I'd like to watch that anywhere, anytime.
But I mean, sports is the only thing I can see here.
Yeah, well, sports, as we all know, is really the really must-see TV left on.
By the way,
broadcast.
It's a skinny package. They don't offer that much, but ESPN is one of the offerings on this new device.
I think one of the challenges for Verizon here, the big challenge is they don't own any content. Now, AT&T took a completely different strategy. They went out and spent billions of dollars to buy DirecTV because DirecTV has these relationships with the Hollywood studios, with the broadcast and cable networks. So Verizon is trying to piece together some kind of product offering.
S.R. Prasad with us from Cornell and truly expert on China. The mobile phone is treated differently in China, isn't it? Can you imagine mobile TV across the billions of people in China?
I'd hate to see the streets of Beijing with people looking at their phones all the time. But in China, again, the mobile phone has become much more important a part of people's lives. So I think you are going to see this demand, especially in China, for many more things to be done on the phone. So I can well see this as being the way of the future. But the implications for our human relationships and how things work on the streets, I fear it.
I also think, going back to Paul's point about how many of these announcements we're seeing, I think you're seeing a lot of media companies who don't know where it's going.
Exactly.
And what they're doing is they want to try everything because something might work.
Yeah, but what did you learn with ABC The Note? That was so successful from day one.
This
it
is
just
a political
worked.
blog that we had, exactly right.
Those are the experiments that make the mobile phone risk work, isn't it?
Well, what really made the Note work, and you see this overall in media, is there's a fairly limited audience, but they're really engaged. This was the political audience. They really cared about it. It was smart. It was well reported and had a certain amount of attitude.
Quickly, Paul Sweeney, is that what Verizon wants, is a limited, narrow audience across many narrows?
No, they want as big an audience as they can possibly get so that they can sell advertising and then hopefully,
and make the AOL deal worth it.
Exactly right. $4.4 billion for AOL, in part to get some of their video content and some of their advertising technology.
Are you optimistic, or are you...
I'm actually very optimistic because I also see the other side of the equation where the traditional media companies, the broadcast networks, even the cable networks are starting to see real constriction on their business.
Paul Sweeney with us with Bloomberg Intelligence on a new experiment. S.R. Prasad with us from Cornell.